Hi, this is Patrick Vieser, and we've just released Titan 7.3, and it's got some cool new features, one of which is the Content Explorer. That's a change from what we used to call the Content Picker in the previous version. And so I'm going to give you a demonstration of what's new and improved by giving you some examples as we walk through a demo. So we're looking at a page on our Titan CMS website. This page has an image over here. It's got links on these 4 different buttons. So we're just going to take a look at this page, and that'll give you a good idea of how this works. So here's that same page inside of our Titan CMS website. If I go over here and I click on the key features, you can see the blocks have been exposed. Here's the image you saw on the page. It's floated over to the left. And here are some of the links on that page floated over to the right. So first thing I want to do is double click on the freeform block. Lots of different ways that you could use the Content Explorer to pick an image for a page, but most commonly it's done inside of a freeform block. So here we have an image inside of this freeform block. And if I double click on it, the first thing you'll notice when the Content Explorer comes up is that we are looking at the image itself with minimal information, the path within inside of Titan, what size image we have chosen, and any alt text. One of the frequently asked questions is, how do I get alt text on images? And we wanted to make that readily available so people could remediate all of the old images that they don't have alt text for. Hey, Amy, what would be a good name for this image on this page here?
You could probably do something like illustration of technical experts.
How's this? All right, so that's one of the things we might want to do. So we can do that right away and click done. But we actually want to go a little bit further into the Content Explorer. But so you want to change that image. Okay, now we go into what we would have seen before, which is, where is that image? And new and improved inside this version of the Content Explorer is 2 new views. One, we have a list view and a thumbnail view that are immediately available. And you might have noticed that unlike previous versions, it shows the image that was previously selected, and it shows it in the tree where it was previously selected. So these 2 new improvements were only asked for, and we've listened and we've added these in here. You can also sort it. The sorting makes an inch more sense when you're in a list view like this. You can see the data was last modified, etc., name. But you can actually do that same sort of sorting when this view here. Also new and improved with this version is we have this information panel over here, which shows the name of the image, the type of the image, size, the path where it could be found inside of Titan. So if the next time you're looking at this image and you're trying to figure out where in the tree has it been located in the event that you navigate away from there, this information is readily available over here. And it also tells you the last person to change this. So if I click on a different image inside of here, you're going to see that the thumbnail updates, all the information updates. We've also retained the same things that you've had where we can edit. We've added that a long time ago.
Yeah, the ability, and that's primarily for things like cropping an image or resizing it. Yeah, so we've had that functionality for a very long time, just accessible here in the Explorer in a different way.
But this isn't new or improved. I know we cleaned up the interface just a little bit, and we moved some of the properties that used to be down over here under Edit Image. So all these images are still there. You can still save as. This is all the same features and functionality that previously existed for editing and applying that. Of course, we've also retained the ability to look at the preview, which you can actually see in this same view here, who's a little bit bigger, and all the different sizes that are available with it, with the same information available down here that is generally available in the information panel over there. You can also upload a new version of any one of the files. I can click over here and go and browse to my local hard drive and pick a new file, and it will update this image inside of the file pile. And I can also download that image if I just wanted to make a copy of it to my local hard drive. So as you can see, we have lots of good stuff. Also, we have really expanded the search functionality over here. So if I do a search right now and I search for the word features, it does a global search. So even though you're highlighting this particular folder over here, when I searched for the word features, it looked everywhere in any of these files, folders, etc., finding all of the stuff that had the word features in it. In addition to that, we also can search for, in this case, it's constrained by just files because that's what we're doing right at the moment. We're going to try and pick a file, but we can also search for images with the name features that have been uploaded in the last 7 days. And I can set a filter and you can see there's nothing that matches. I think it's been a while since we uploaded. So there's nothing with the name features in the last 60 days, but I can remove that filter just by clicking on it. This one I cannot be removed because we're constrained right now to only looking at files.
Well, you could go into how you might expand your folders and create new structures for uploading new content if you have a brand new image to replace that features image.
Yeah, so for instance, if I had something new inside of here, I could go and I could make a new folder by clicking on this button right over here. I could give it a name. I could call it Pat's Files, and that would add a node to the tree. And then I could go to my local hard drive under Pat's Files, and I could go and click on the upload button, and I could choose files from my local hard drive and select a collection of images from my most recent vacation and highlight a bunch of them. As we've had for a long time, the ability to upload multiples at the same time. And so if I can highlight a bunch of them, it puts these all in a collection, or you can do a whole bunch of files all at the same time, uploaded into this new folder, Pat's Files, which I'm not going to do at this time. Okay, I think we've hit all of the main features. So we started out this session in the Content Explorer by browsing for a replacement image. So let's actually do that. So right away, if I go back in here, it remembers where I was, resets everything. I can say, oh, I want to actually have that image instead. I can click done. It now defaulted to the smallest size available, etc. And I want to change it back to large. It retained the alt text that I had on that image. And if I click done, you're going to see that image swap out for a different image. If I click done, we're not quite finished yet in this freeform content, etc. I still would have to publish. I can preview that page to see what it would look like with the new image, and that looks good. These are all correctly sized for what we need on this particular page. But in this case, I don't want to mess with what our marketing team has put together. So I'm simply going to do the easiest thing, which is just navigate away from that page and then come back to it. And we're right back where we were. One of the additional features of the Content Explorer is the ability to embed links. So let's go and take our Titan CMS key features. But down below here, we have 4 anchor tags. But if we wanted to say an enterprise content management system and have that linked someplace else in the system, I can highlight the text, click on our link manager over here, and I say, what would I like to link this to? That content could be an image, a file, or it could be another page inside of the site. If I actually know the path, I can type it in here directly. And now, in addition to seeing the files, which we saw before, I can actually see the entire tree of the site. Let's go back and we're going to search for the word features. Again, I can search. All right, key features of Titan CMS. That's the page I'm looking for. So after I type the word features, I can see a results list over here with all the pages with the word features in it. One of those is a page. Key features, which you can see as a page over here. This is new and improved inside of our Content Explorer in 7.3, where we've identified the different type of content. You can see either it's an event, which would be a data node, a blog, also in a data node, a page. And you get another clue is you can look at the icon over here and see what type of content it is, or an image. And here we identify the type of image that it is. And if we have additional information like the size, we can do that. But I'm actually looking for a page of key features. I can highlight that. It shows me here's the path. It's a page. Who was actually last edited this page? Yes, that's the one I'm looking for. I click done. It updates it. I can have it open in a new window. I don't need to do that right now. So I just say done. And now I've made a link. And so this is new and improved in 7.3. Again, if I highlight that same link and click, it brings it back up. And key features, so if I knew there was a typo in here or some other variation, again, if you're doing a lot of these, sometimes the exact path that you'd like to type in, and you can type in that path directly inside of here. John, what is this doing right now? Is it actually doing an AJAX call to see if that page exists?
Right. It's checking to see if the URL you're entering is actually mapped up to content in the system, because you're saying, hey, I've got this content in my system that I want to link to. Well, if you happen to be typing in and you mistype it, then it should be giving you that indication that it's invalid URL.
Awesome. And so here we have the key features content, again, done. So if I click on anywhere inside of that link, click over here, I can edit the URL, or I can go back in and browse. And once again, new and improved in this version of Titan is it navigated to the tree to show you where you are. The tree is always open. It highlights the page down here. You can see this page has been selected, gives you a little bit of basic information about it. And if you wanted to change it to something else, you could search for it. Now the search has been expanded to show not only content, which is just about anything, but it could be file specific or data specific. Or in this particular case, you can actually look at the different data nodes. So if I wanted to look at one of the blogs we've written about features, I could say search for any of the blogs we've written about the different features of Titan. And here we can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different blogs. All of them are grayed out because my hunch is these blogs have been hidden, probably obsolete. And so we've written stuff about Titan features in the past, but it's no longer active, so these pages are hidden. And so let's say I wanted to link it to something else. I could just go and navigate over here through the tree, and I go and find individual stories, or For instance, if I was looking specifically at blogs, I could go down over here into the data nodes, look at the blogs, go at Titan CMS, and I could find all of the blogs, find one that would be relevant, how Titan can help you stay compliant, etc. Click done. And now this particular set of text that I have highlighted on the screen is linked to that blog. John, what have I missed?
Well, you still have the functionality that we've always had where you could connect to an email address or a phone number, or even browse through links that you've created in the past recently. So for example, you're hitting maybe a number of pages and you need to add the same destination link in a number of places. Well, if you create it one time, it'll be at the top of your recently added internal links, and then you could easily find it and grab it again without having to browse through the tree.
So recent links is very handy. External links is, again, anywhere in the world, anything that has a valid URL. An email address, if I wanted to get pat@nwsdigital.com, I could type in, it would send me an email. So I could put an email address and email link in my content. Not very often used, but on mobile phones, it comes in handy. We could type in a phone number. Okay. Well, that concludes our preview of how Titan 7.3 has improved the content picker to make it into the Content Explorer. Hope you enjoy this. And if you have any questions, you can always send them to support